All right, this is episode 127 of the Battle of Ohio podcast. We did not really get to do an episode recapping the 99th Battle of Ohio, so we'll be talking a bit about that. We'll be talking a bit about that today, and then we're going to dive into what's next for the 9-4 Cincinnati Bengals and the 5-8 Cleveland Browns. Bengals going to be playing the Buccaneers this week, and the Browns will be playing the Ravens. So we're going to kind of dive into that. It's going to be kind of a dual episode like that. But finally, I tried to tell people that they got to stop counting on the Pittsburgh Steelers to do anything. That's not the same team. This isn't your dad's Pittsburgh Steelers. Like beating the Baltimore Ravens when they've got even if they've got a third string quarterback playing. A bunch of Bengals fans were like, oh, the Steelers are going to do it. It's like, no, you can't count on the Steelers. Because why, Thomas?
Fuck the Steelers.
Close enough.
I'm sorry. That's the Thomas y'all getting today.
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
I think I chipped one of the crowns off of my tooth.
That
I'm a big fan of that.
Very comfortable, Kyle. Like top 5 most comfortable things in the world. Chipping a crown on your tooth during the intro of our podcast.
It's not. Well, no, not just now. I meant like earlier today. It's not at any point that I would have noticed anything. I'm just thinking it's like there's like a weird texture going on there. I don't know if I like chipped something or what. But anyway, this is not the Battle of Ohio Dental podcast. This is the Battle of Ohio podcast. And I don't really need to spend too much time on it. I'm gonna gloat a little bit, but I'm not gonna gloat much because
no, you deserve it. Because Kyle, I was like, fine, we won 6 in a row. Like again for the record, I was prepared last week to admit that y'all gonna whoop our ass. I was prepared. And as soon as I got on there, you started talking shit. I'm like, man, did we not just whoop your ass 6 times in a row? Like, what the fuck? And so then that's when I got pissed. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. Fuck you too. Well, this is a rivalry podcast. I ain't gonna sit here and just bend over for you.
The reason I'm not going to spend too much time gloating is because I just don't feel like it, right? Like the Bengals, like I mean, we won. It was great. It was fun at the time. It's also been like a week since the game, so I'm kind of moved beyond that game. And at the end of the day, the Browns are a 5-8 team. Like we damn well should have beat them. I was just relieved. I wasn't like, yeah, we won. I'm so like hyped up by it. No, I'm just like, I'm relieved that we didn't lose for a 7th time in a row to the Browns, man. Like I got so sick and tired of like, first of all, coming on this podcast and like, you know, trying to like every time we cover the Battle of Ohio, I'm like, man, we're going to get you this time, Thomas. And then I have to like come with my tail tucked between my legs for like 6 episodes in a row being like, no, the Bengals, they look real bad. But no, like I finally get to come on and be like, oh my God, they vindicated me. So
man, I got to kick out the last one. I got to kick out the one in October though. That one was great. I was like, look, I don't care. I said quote. I think I said quote. I think I said this verbatim. Y'all can go back and watch this episode. I don't even care if we lose every single game after this game. We're gonna win this fucking game. I'm pretty sure I said that. We're not losing this Monday night game.
Look, so heading up to that game, yeah, we lost 6 in a row, but again, like the 2 that we lost in 2020, who really cares, honestly? Like, all we really got out of that was that, like, this Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow thing is going to be really good. And then, obviously, that didn't happen. But that's basically what we got out of that year. And then 2021, that was stupid, right? Like, you know, y'all won that first game, and that was stupid. But then the second game was like, you know, y'all won because we rested literally all of our starters, and like I don't really consider that to really be like a legitimate addition to the Battle of Ohio, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, I get that.
But, even if we had won, I would have said the same thing. Like that's who cares. Oh, actually, if we had won, I probably would have gloated a little bit just because I'm like, yo, we started all of our backups, but we didn't. So
it's just that for 2 straight years, we went to your stadium and We had half the crowd of Brown, and then we just beat y'all stadium in spectacular fashion in 2 straight years.
Not okay.
And then y'all got your revenge. Y'all got your revenge. And then you hear Joe Burrow on fucking his interview. You know Joe Burrow said his interview afterwards just pissed me off. The first time Joe Burrow pissed me off.
What did he say?
Like, any Ohio fans who want to root for a football team, come down to Cincinnati root for the Bengals. Man, fuck you, Joe Burrow.
Well, you do realize Joe Burrow was asked about that, right? They were asking him because of the whole Deshaun Watson controversy. They were like, the Browns, the reporter asked, basically he said, or she, I don't know who it was, but the reporter essentially asked, like, you know, a lot of Browns fans have felt really alienated because of bringing in Deshaun Watson, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what do you say to the Ohio fans who are going on and being Bengals fans now? And Joe Burrow was like, hey, if you're going to root for us, that's awesome. Come, you know, be a fan of the Cincinnati Bengals. That's cool.
Man, by the way, that's stupid. Like, honestly, like.
It is true, though. A lot of Browns fans are.
Oh, no, I know. And fuck those people. Those are the type of Clevelanders that move out of Cleveland and move to Columbus and think they're upgraded in life. Man, no. You have done nothing to the contribution of society by stop being a Browns fan and becoming a Bengals fan. I promise you. Yeah, just stop. Just stop.
I feel like those are probably the Browns fans who wanted to leave for years, but they have like this concept of loyalty in their heads. They're like, I just can't abandon the team that I've, you know, been a fan of this whole time, but they've been looking for an out. So now that there's this big controversy, they're like, oh, I'm free. I don't have to be a Browns fan anymore. I can leave and still feel like I maintain my integrity.
If you're a Browns fan, you became a Bengals fan, you're not a Browns fan in the first place. You're just somebody from Cleveland who just never wanted to be a Browns fan and just waiting, like you said, waiting for a reason not to be a Browns fan. They were never a Browns fan in the first place. Fuck those people. They weren't coming to the games. They weren't spending the money with the jerseys. They weren't buying the hats and shit. There's no way in hell that you are buying merchandise for, like the people who buy shit like this from Walmart for like 10, 15 bucks. Ain't nobody going to spend money on the Browns. I want to go spend money for the Bengals. Nah, man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Dude, I don't even spend 10, 15 bucks on Bengals hats, right? Like I don't even know where it is right now, but I have the same Bengals hat that I wear in some of my videos and stuff like that. That's the same Bengals hat I've had since I was like 17 years old. I got like these gloves right here. They're Bengals gloves. I got them because one of my customers at FedEx gave them to me for free. Like I don't really spend that kind of money on the Bengals, but it's not about what you're spending money on. It's about like where, you know, your passion is. And if your passion, if like my point is, I think they were looking to get out of being a Browns fan. I think some of them are legitimately like, you know, there's a very moral thing. And I feel like the people who left because of moral reasons, I feel like you can't criticize them. Even if you disagree with them, I feel like you can't criticize them for leaving for moral reasons. But I think there were a lot of Browns fans who like were looking for an excuse to not be Browns fans anymore. They just can't, like, they're the kind of people who are like, oh, you got to be loyal to your team. But then in this is the type of thing that I think gave them an excuse to be like, okay, well, I don't have to be loyal to you anymore because you're, you know, bad people. And I think that's essentially what was going on.
If you stop, man, I look, if you want to do that, that's to you, man. But fuck you. I'm talking for myself. I never, ever stop being a Browns fan, man. You can't take this, like, people. Like, y'all don't understand, like, people, I don't think people understand the passion that we have for the passion I have for the city and for this team. I mean, like, fine, Cincinnati folks, y'all nice and everything, cool. Like, you know, I ain't gonna sit here and insult y'all or anything, but I ain't gonna ever stop bleeding orange and brown.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And I will say, as a Bengals fan who grew up at the time when the Bengals collapsed as a franchise and like didn't do anything for like 30 years, I know, I understand. Like there's a certain amount of passion that goes into it, and like I could never stop. I could stop being a Bengals fan. I could abandon the Bengals. You know what they would have to do? They would have to move from Cincinnati. If the Bengals left Cincinnati to relocate somewhere else, I would stop being a Bengals fan. But
the Browns did leave.
Even if I left.
And the fans fought to get them back. Well, but here's another thing, though. Here's my thing. Why the hell would I stop being a Browns fan right now when we got the best quarterback we've had in my entire lifetime?
Yeah.
Why would I stop being a Browns fan now?
Okay, so that actually leads me into real quick. That leads me into something I want to talk about, but real quick, I'll just say that you know what? I forgot what I was going to say anyway. So that comment about Deshaun Watson being the best quarterback the Browns have ever had, at least in their current franchise, maybe ever. You can make the argument goes. As far as that goes, he certainly hasn't looked like it so far. And a lot of people are talking about how like the Browns are getting slaughtered right now for it looks like such a terrible trade for them, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I gotta say, like Thomas, I've said this a couple of times, mostly to gloat about how I was right. I'm not even gloating about how I was right anymore. I'm trying to tell people to stop freaking out at this point. I said Deshaun Watson's going to be rusty. He's rusty. Give the guy a damn break, at least as far as being a football player goes. He hasn't played in 2 years.
I came around to the not come around, but he's probably going to be rusty. Yeah, he's going to be rusty. My debate was how rusty he's going to be. Is that, and I still kind of debate. I think that he's going to be up to speed by the Saints. By the end of the Saints game, he's going to be 90% there.
Well, what do you mean by 90% there? What do you mean by up to speed? Do you mean I
think by the Saints game, you're going to be all right, okay, this is why the Browns traded for him.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I see the thing is, y'all gave up so much for Watson. For him, he has to be a top 3 quarterback, I think, for that.
I don't think we want to see that till next year. I don't think we want to see that till next year.
I don't think we're ever going to see that.
I don't think we want to see that till next year. I think we will. I think he's that good. But okay, all right. So how would you grade his performance last week?
That's a good question.
Because I don't think he played that bad last week.
Week 1. Well, okay. So the Texans game, I would give him.
I thought was bad.
I thought it was bad, but I also don't think it was an F, right? I think the Texans game was a D, right? Maybe a D plus. Yeah. I think the Bengals game was it was better. It wasn't that much better. It was a C minus. He had a couple flashy plays, and outside of that, I wasn't really that much more impressed. I think he improved a little bit, but not a whole lot.
So his stats last week were comparable to what's his name stats? Jacoby Brissett stats. And I say that because I have a lot of Browns fans saying, how we're going to get Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett only threw for over 275 yards twice this year. Deshaun Watson did it in his second game back after missing 2 years. And you said that you don't think that Donovan Peoples-Jones catch would have been a touchdown. I do think it would have been a touchdown if he caught it, because I think what happened was it hit off his shoulder, and then he was like, no. But the reason why I think that he would have came in bounds with that ball is because he had plenty of space to come in bounds. Man had plenty of space to come in bounds. And not only had plenty of space to come in bounds, he made that catch before in your stadium in spectacular fashion. We still would have lost, but I think Deshaun Watson should have 2 touchdowns that game.
Okay, listen. I don't think it was a very good throw from Deshaun Watson. It's maybe
it hit him around the chest.
Maybe
it hit him right here.
T. Higgins or like Randy Moss or somebody, some insanely talented wide receiver could have come down with that catch. But the way Donovan Peoples-Jones was moving, like on that play, and where Deshaun Watson spotted it, he wouldn't have gotten 2 feet down.
I'm sorry. Anybody watch it? Anybody watch making fun of the way I'm.
So listen, Jacoby Brissett this year. Deshaun Watson has played 2 games so far, right?
Yeah.
And in both those games, I felt like Week 14 against the Bengals was a slight upgrade from what you saw against the Texans. Not much, but both of those games, I think, were not as good as any game you've gotten from Jacoby Brissett this year, except for the Week 1 game against the Panthers.
What are you talking about? He did exactly how Jacoby Brissett plays. He had 275 yards, 1 interception, and 1 touchdown. That's just about everything we got at Jacoby Brissett.
But stats don't tell the whole story. Like, just because he got 275 yards doesn't mean the way
he had a really good drive. He had one really good drive. That one really good drive that he had, I haven't seen a single drive like that from Jacoby Brissett all year.
But I've seen a lot of better drives from Jacoby Brissett than any of the other drives Deshaun Watson had. That's my point.
He had that 2 of these drives, but he's
But anyway,
I still think we're going 9-8, by the way. By the way, we're going 9-8, ladies and gentlemen. We're going 9-8.
That's not happening.
We're not making the playoffs. I'm not putting it out there. But all right, look, who we got? The Ravens. We're beating. Man, shut the fuck up, James. Okay, so yeah. So we're beating the Ravens. Beating the Saints. Washington, like you said, is going to be a team. That's a game that you think we're going to lose. I think we're going to beat Washington. I think by then, I think Washington's going to be in rhythm by then. I think Washington's going to be in very good rhythm by the Washington game. And then we're smoking the Steelers because fuck Pittsburgh. Are they making playoffs? No. I'm not on here saying they're making playoffs. But I want to tell you they're going 9-8 not because of any other reason, because of the schedule in front of them. Now, their schedule consisted of the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Patriots. I wouldn't be sitting here telling you the Browns about to go 9-8. I'd be like, the Browns about to lose out. I would literally tell you the Browns are going to lose out. But no. We play the Chargers. We play the Ravens, who have a second-string quarterback. They had Tyler Huntley, who could barely score points. They could barely score points with Lamar Jackson. They play the Saints. They play the Washington football team, or the Washington, whatever you want to call them, commies, who plays in the one who I'm sorry, it's the NFC. It's the NFC, whatever. Don't trust it. And they play the Steelers, who are unequivocally trash. Okay. So yes, I think the Browns are going 9-8.
I don't. The Browns are 5-8 right now, so they would have to win out to go 9-8. That's not happening. I think the Browns at best are going to go 7-10. Okay. So who do you think? I'm okay. So I'm guessing you think we're gonna lose to the Ravens. I think you think we're gonna lose to the Ravens then. I don't know. I'm not making I said best case scenario. Or I said best case scenario 7-10. And I think best case scenario the Ravens are one of those wins. Because I don't think the Ravens are good.
So if we beat the Ravens, you think the Browns are going to lose to either the Saints or the Steelers?
I think they'll lose to the Steelers.
You think they'll lose to the Steelers?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll lose to the Steelers.
I do think they'll lose to the Steelers, just because the Steelers lately have been like they've gone back to that scrappy winning stupid games thing again. And like I think the Browns are kind of disorganized and ripe to be beaten in that way right now.
I mean, the Browns did win 2 out of 3 games.
I mean, sure, but I don't know. I think what I'm seeing from the Browns right now, and especially what I've seen from Deshaun Watson so far, like I want to be clear. I do think Deshaun Watson is going to be fine eventually. Yeah. Now, I think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
At some point.
Thank you for saying that because some people need to hear that.
Yeah, I think Deshaun Watson is going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL at some point, like
The
probably
Browns
next year. But
Deshaun Watson is going to be the best quarterback this franchise has ever seen. If you think otherwise, you're a fucking dumbass. For real.
Maybe. So like where I'm thinking Deshaun Watson's current potential is roughly about like, the 7th best quarterback in the NFL. Cause like, I don't think he's going to be top 5. Cause who are you kicking out of the top 5? You got Joe Burrow, number 1. You got Patrick Mahomes, number 2. You got probably Josh Allen, number 3. I don't think he's more talented than Herbert right now.
Wait, hold on. Go back. I see what you did there. Patrick Mahomes is number 1.
No. Joe Burrow is Patrick Mahomes' daddy. Therefore, no.
What about Jacoby Brissett?
What?
What about Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield is chaos incarnate. Baker Mayfield exists outside of the rankings.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and then I'll give you Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow did just take the Bengals to the Super Bowl with freaking. In fact, I would take Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and then Josh Allen actually, and then I think that Watson's going to sneak in at number 4. Oh no! Jalen Hurts look good.
I think so because you got Jalen Hurts, you got Justin Herbert, who I think Justin Herbert's upside right now is higher than Deshaun Watson's right now. At this point in his career, had Deshaun Watson kept playing in a straight line and progressing that whole time, sure. But I think
he didn't get hurt. It's not like he got hurt, man. It's not like he come back from injury.
It doesn't matter. He hasn't played in 2 years.
He's gonna be fine. If Deshaun Watson played like he did in 2020, he's a top 5 quarterback.
Deshaun Watson is gonna be fine. I'm just saying. I don't think Deshaun Watson being fine means he's going to be a top 5 quarterback.
I think
there was a time when the best quarterbacks in the NFL were Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and that was the list. Like that was 1 and 2. He's never going to be there again. I don't think he's going to be top 5 again. If absolute, most insanely best case scenario, I can maybe see him being number 5. But I think he's going to be more like, floating around. Like once he kind of gets in a rhythm, I think he's going to be more around like, the 7, maybe 6, but around like 7, 8. As far as quarterbacks in the NFL are concerned.
I will agree with you. If Deshaun Watson was a Lamar Jackson type player where he solely relies on athleticism, don't get me wrong, he's very athletic. He does run. But the reason why I was always such a big fan of Deshaun Watson, because he could throw that rock, man. He could pass that freaking rock, man. He could throw it, and you kind of see it. He escapes out that pocket. He uses his feet to stay alive, but that kind of stuff, that he can have that through his 30s, because he's not somebody who takes a lot of hits from his playing style. He's just somebody who's able to stay alive in the pocket so he can pass the ball down the field. So he probably won't have a career project. I think he's gonna be in the league probably about as long as Ben Roethlisberger, started to break down in his late 30s. I think Joe Burrow is the type of quarterback that can have a career like Tom Brady, where Tom Brady's playing in his 40s, or like Drew Brees. I think that's Joe Burrow's trajectory, where Joe Burrow's going to scratch 40. I don't think Watson's going to scratch 40. I think Watson's probably going to start to see him dissipate in like his mid to late 30s, like Roethlisberger did. So that's what I think. But right now he's 27. So I think he got another 10 good years in the league. The Commanders, the commies. Fuck them.
Dude, the Commanders are gonna like mow your team down. I'm sorry. Like,
Maybe.
the Commanders are a damn good team right now.
Yeah, Trevor Heineke. Oh my God.
Well, okay, yeah, their quarterback isn't like the greatest quarterback of all time, but they don't have a whole lot of holes outside of their quarterback. And even then, their quarterback's good enough. Look at Brock Purdy and the 49ers. The 49ers look like Super Bowl team right now. But their quarterback's Brock Purdy.
The Commanders tied the Daniel Jones Giants, beat the Falcons by 6, beat the Texans. They did beat the Eagles. That's a good one. Let's see. I mean, all their wins are above losing teams.
So listen, as far as Deshaun Watson goes, Deshaun Watson is 27 years old right now, right? He is under contract through 2026. Yeah. I think it's going to take him until probably I think 2020. I think throughout 2022 he's going to continue to be about where he's at now, like just for the rest of the season. I think maybe you see some flashes early 2023. I think it's probably going to be about mid 2023 before he really hits his stride, though. And then you're talking about a guy who's going to be 30 soon, right? Which is fine because he's a quarterback, and he's also taken like a 2-year hiatus, so he doesn't have the same kind of like.
And he relies on his arm, not his legs. Again, we don't want to stress that. You got a good arm.
Well, yeah, he does have a good arm, but I mean,
I don't think Lamar Jackson will be playing in his 30s.
I think Lamar Jackson will be playing. I definitely think Lamar Jackson will be playing. I don't think I don't think he's going to be anywhere near what he is right now, but I think he's gonna, like, considering he won an MVP, considering like how electric he has been, people are gonna keep giving that guy chances as long as he takes them.
That's true.
So Deshaun Watson, I feel like it's probably going to be about 2024 before you really see his true potential right now shine. And my whole point is I don't know if his potential now is what his potential was a while back, because like you got to remember when I was saying before, it used to be it was like Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson as far as like, you know, gonna be the, you know, the next big thing type of players in the league. Like there was a time like that. But the league has just progressed so much since that was where Deshaun Watson's at. This whole idea of like having a mobile quarterback who can throw and use his legs, that's not super uncommon in the NFL anymore. Like, I mean, you have some statue passers, but for the most part, most quarterbacks in the NFL these days are pretty mobile. So I mean, obviously not like, you know, the old guys, and obviously not like Tom Brady and, you know, Aaron Rodgers even isn't as mobile as he used to be and stuff like that. But on the whole, it's just like, I feel like when Deshaun Watson was like at the top of the NFL back in the day, that was a different NFL landscape than what you have right now. So I think it's probably going to be about 2024. He's going to be in, you know, pushing 30, if not already 30, by the time he really gets back to the point where he's like, you know, this really, really great quarterback. And even then, I don't think he's going to be as good as Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and, you know, these other, like the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, I mean, maybe if he like really turns it on and he's like perfect, he'll be like number 5. But I just don't think he's going to be Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen.
I think he's going to be fine. Honestly, I think he's going to get back up to speed. I think by the end of this year, he should be. I think by the end, like I said, by the end of this year, he's going to be like almost if not there. And then I think by next year, he's going to come out the gate running.
So real quick, I want to ask you something, Thomas. Right now, who would you say is? And we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on this. If you're watching, by the way, give me your answer in the comments too. But who like without going super into detail about it, you don't have to take forever on it or whatever. But who would be your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now? And I swear to God, if you say Deshaun Watson, I'm going to come over there to Cleveland. I'm going to punch you in the fucking face right now.
Oh, Deshaun Watson, and Dylan.
All right, get ready, buddy. I'm coming.
Yeah, come on, man. I got everything. I got some drinks in the fridge, man. We can chill. Watch Scab game. No. So, all right. Top 5 right now. Mahomes, Burrow, Hurts, Allen. I'm not saying Herbert. I'm sorry, I'm not saying Herbert. Like, I've seen that dude play in perfect weather. I wasn't impressed. Against a very bad Browns defense, I wasn't impressed. I'm sorry, Kyle. I just wasn't impressed. I don't know what it is about Herbert. Like, I was at a lot of football games last couple of years. There are quarterbacks where you see them play, and you're like, wow, that was interesting. And the quarterbacks, you go like, all right, that was cool, but like, you know, whatever. Like, I got an underwhelming feeling from Kyler Murray I got an underwhelming feeling. When I see Joe Burrow play for the first time, I just remember telling you, Kyle, like, yeah, he's going to be good. I remember, like, yeah, he's good. He's good. That guy, like, I remember just like, yeah, that guy's good. That guy's really good. I'm not saying Herbert. I don't think it's Herbert. Let me think about it. And then who I put 5? I'm not going to say Prescott. Not Prescott. He took a step back. And I would, like, if it was past years, I would have said Prescott. And, you know, it should be Aaron Rodgers, but I don't like what Aaron Rodgers is doing. It's not Tom Brady. Tom Brady's old.
Like, Tom Brady is the GOAT, but right now, Tom Brady.
You know what? I might have to say
time
Tua.
has passed Tom Brady up.
I might have to say Tua. I might have to say Tua. You know, the only reason, I mean, like, you know, the only reason why I'm hesitant to say Tua is maybe because, like, Tua just have a perfect situation.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a perfect situation right now.
He really doesn't. He's got, like, Tyreek Hill and, like, he's got perfect receivers to throw to. That's about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, but he doesn't have
a
a great offensive line. He doesn't have great running backs. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like, how
that
the
defense
offensive
is
line
what
running back
sucks.
TD? We got Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is freaking flash. If I had to flash as my receiver, do I really need an offensive line? I just throw it to a space and Flash is gonna get it.
Appreciate you, James. But anyway, so what do you got?
I had Tua because I would say Tua over Herbert.
So you had Patrick Mahomes, you had Joe Burrow, you had Josh Allen. Who was 4?
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow.
Oh, you had Joe Burrow at 4.
Joe Burrow. No, Joe Burrow's 2 for me. Because I think I rather have Joe Burrow.
That's what I was asking. What's the order?
Yeah,
Patrick.
The only quarterback in the NFL, the only person in the NFL that I rather have quarterback on my team besides Joe Burrow is Patrick Mahomes. That's it. That's literally it.
You got Patrick
Josh.
Mahomes,
I got Joe Burrow over Josh Allen. I think Joe Burrow's a better quarterback than Josh Allen. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'll even. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. Josh Allen's better than Jalen Hurts.
You got Mahomes 1, you got Burrow 2, you got Allen 3, you got. Did you say Herbert 4?
No, I got Hurts 4.
Hurts 4. Okay, that's.
And then 5, and then I would give Tua 5.
Okay.
And you know what? I would say you were right about Tua. I gave you that. You were right about Tua.
Okay.
That's me admitting that you were right about Tua.
So for me, it's Joe Burrow number 1. Like I know everybody says Patrick Mahomes this, Patrick Mahomes that, but I'm telling you one thing: Patrick Mahomes is not making Trenton Irwin look like Randy Moss. Like I'm telling you that right now. Like you of all people should know right now, Thomas, what Joe Burrow can do. Like you just saw it on Sunday. Like Joe Burrow took Trenton Irwin and made Trenton Irwin look like Randy Moss. He took Mitch Wilcox and made Mitch Wilcox look like Travis Kelce. Like, what are we even doing right now?
I don't understand why it's such an insult of me saying I just can't take Joe. I just can't take Joe Burrow over Patrick Mahomes.
You're just wrong.
You know, fine, whatever. Fine, whatever. Right. I literally just told you the guy that just whooped my ass and just told me I should stop being a Browns fan. I really wanted my quarterback. In fact, I said all this good shit about him, and
then you said Patrick Mahomes is better, and that's the thing.
Because it's Patrick fucking Mahomes.
And he is. But I think Joe Burrow's better than Patrick Mahomes.
Not only does Patrick Mahomes do all the stuff that he does on the football field,
Patrick Mahomes.
He got to deal with that wife of his. Like, damn.
Well, I mean, have you seen Joe Burrow's girlfriend?
Does he date Livy?
I have no idea who he dates.
I'm
saying like you can't say that about Patrick Mahomes if you don't even know who Joe Burrow's girl is.
No.
Also, let's rewind for a second. Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend is hot, but she's also like the most obnoxious human being on the planet.
This woman sprayed a cold ass bottle of champagne on top of an entire section of people in 4-degree weather.
Okay, is that a good thing?
That's a horrible thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think Patrick Mahomes' wife is like has anything. Like she's hot. That's about the only thing she's got going for her.
She's dating Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, so I got Joe Burrow number 1, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Patrick Mahomes is number 2. He's a damn good quarterback, but he's not as perfect as everybody says he is, and Joe Burrow owns him. So I'm just saying, man. I think Joe
He
Burrow
owns him and his wife.
There you go.
Nobody canceled me for that. Nobody canceled me for that. She's probably a very fine woman. Probably a very nice woman. I know it's 2022. I know how y'all are. Don't damn care to me for saying that about his wife.
I'm gonna give you a bit of a hot take right now, but I think number 3 is Jalen Hurts.
You know what? Man, Kyle, if you put a gun to my head and you ask me who would rather have my quarterback between Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, I'm going to say Jalen Hurts.
Right now, yes. But that is the one thing why I say this is a bit of a hot take, because it really hasn't been like that until Jalen Hurts got, AJ Brown, until he got Miles Sanders going nuts. Like Jalen Hurts before this year was kind of seen as like an average quarterback. So is he really the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL? Right now he is. Right now he's playing like it. He absolutely is. But the only thing is is he going to stay like that? I don't know. But right now, I think Jalen Hurts is my number 3. Josh Allen is my number 4. The main reason I say that is because Josh Allen, he hasn't been consistent lately. He's been showing flashes of the old Josh Allen, so I'm kind of concerned. And then number 5, I agree with you. I think it's Tua.
Oh, so our top 5 is the same.
Our top 5 has the same people, yes, but
just different order.
But my whole point is who is Deshaun Watson going to end up outperforming among those people?
Tua?
I don't think so. I think Tua. I think right now Tua's better, and I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to get. I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to get back to the point to the absolute ceiling of what his talent has always been. I don't feel like the 2018 Deshaun Watson's coming back. Now I think he get very close to that.
That's what it is. You see, I do think that he's going to get back to that 2018, 2019, 2020. And maybe that's a Browns fan in me, but I do think he will get to that point. You think he won't? But I think if he does, I think if Deshaun Watson does get to 2020. Deshaun Watson, then I think the quarterback, I think it will be Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and then Deshaun Watson will be number 3 if he gets back to that point. Because I think that, and I would still put Joe Burrow over him because I think what Joe Burrow did last year was just insane. And I would still put that over Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson couldn't do that with a bad offensive line.
Okay, so here's the thing that, by the way, this is a tangent. This isn't necessarily a criticism against Deshaun Watson. This is just, I'm going back to the Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow thing. The thing about Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, both of them, this does not separate these two, but it does separate these two from the rest of the NFL and why these two guys are 1A and 1B. And it's because, not only are these guys both, very talented, I do think Patrick Mahomes is more talented than Joe Burrow, but I think ultimately Joe Burrow does more than Patrick Mahomes in everything else to eventually get over the hump. Now, that said, Patrick Mahomes does plenty. He's not a bad, I'm not trying to say he's a bad quarterback or anything like that. I'm just saying I think Joe Burrow does more of the little stuff to get where he needs to go. And not to mention Joe Burrow, like Patrick Mahomes, great guy. Does Patrick Mahomes have the Joe Burrow swagger? Does Patrick Mahomes have he has the Joe Burrow leadership, I think. But does he have everything else that goes into Joe Burrow being who Joe Burrow is? I don't think that Patrick Mahomes quite checks all of those boxes that Joe Burrow has. The only thing I think Patrick Mahomes has over Joe Burrow, is arm strength. And even then, Joe Burrow's arm strength is not nearly people use that as he's not good at throwing the ball. No, he's fine throwing the ball. He's fine. He's not. That's not his most elite characteristic. That's one of the things you could say he could maybe use a little bit of work on, but a little bit of work. Not this guy sucks because of his arm. His arm's fine. It's just that's the one area where you're well, he's not he's not the most talented quarterback who's ever existed of all time. And that's the only thing. He's got so much skill. He's got so much of the right mentality, but he just doesn't have he doesn't have the talent quite as much as some other guys. That's the only thing about Joe Burrow, I think.
No, his arm is fine. His arm is fine.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, no, Joe Burrow is the complete package.
So here, James actually kind of makes a good point. I want to point this out about Deshaun Watson. So my whole point, part of my concern with Deshaun Watson is, from what I've seen so far, Deshaun Watson doesn't look like the kind of guy. And actually, by the way, I've never seen this from Deshaun Watson in his career so far. Deshaun Watson does not. He takes great players around him and does amazing things, right? Things you've never seen anybody else do with great players around him. I've just never seen Deshaun Watson take, David Bell, for example, and turn him into a Pro Bowl receiver. When Deshaun Watson takes Trent Irwin and does and has a big game, then I'll be like, okay, so Deshaun Watson might be like,
wait. He led the league in passing in 2020 with that crappy ass team in Texas.
He was throwing to DeAndre Hopkins.
He didn't have DeAndre Hopkins in 2020.
Oh, you mean in 2020, right? Yep, I know, but the Texans still had a much better roster than they have now. Like that.
What did they have in 2020? They had the worst offensive line. They had the worst defense. They had horrible receivers. This man was throwing to Joe Schmo, the clown hole. I came without a spot.
Joe Schmo, the clown hole. But all I'm saying is, okay. So he wasn't throwing to DeAndre Hopkins in his final year in Houston. He was still I don't know, man. I think you vastly overestimate the Deshaun Watson can elevate the guys around him, but not the same way that other guys can.
I think you're underestimating the power of my boy Deshaun Watson.
I think Deshaun Watson was throwing to Kenny Stills, Will Fuller. I think he was throwing to Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb. These aren't scrubs. None of them are DeAndre Hopkins by any means. But this was not a trash wide receiver core. This was this was a bit of a cast off wide receiver core, but it was all guys who have a lot of talent. It was just a lot of guys who didn't fit so well in the locker room and other places. Plus Will Fuller. People forget about Will Fuller now because he's been suspended to the point where he's nobody thinks about him anymore. But dude, Will Fuller was that dude. And also don't forget he also had David Johnson running the rock. And at the time, David Johnson was that dude at running back. He ended up getting traded to the Cardinals and he sucked with the Cardinals. But David Johnson in Houston was a damn good football player.
You know what it is that Will Fuller only looked good when he played with Watson. When did Will Fuller look anywhere else besides Texas?
What?
When have Will Fuller looked good anywhere else besides Texas?
Hasn't he been in Houston his whole career?
That's what I'm saying.
I know, but my point is he was this was a guy. By the way, what I meant by I misspoke about David Johnson. What I meant was he got traded from the Cardinals, and he was still good with the Texans. He was on the Texans, so that was part of his problem. But he was still a damn good football player with the Texans. So Will Fuller, don't forget this guy. Let's see. Okay, so he actually was most recent with the Dolphins. I'm sorry, but Will Fuller was a first round draft pick. Thomas, this dude was supposed to be a big time star, and he played not like a big time star, but definitely Will Fuller was like T. Higgins before T. Higgins.
That's an insult to T. Higgins.
I don't think so. I think Will Fuller was just as good as T. Higgins, 5 years ago. Before T. Higgins came on the scene, Will Fuller was the guy who basically did what T. Higgins does now.
I think your son T. Higgins I think T. Higgins is a beast.
I think T. Higgins is a beast too. That's my point about Will Fuller.
I think T. Higgins deserves his roses. I think T. Higgins is one of the best receivers in the league. Not many receivers I put over T. Higgins.
So was Will Fuller.
Yeah.
You again, people forgot about him because he got suspended. But
I'm sorry that I'm forgetting about Dre.
No, you forgot about Will.
No, I forgot about Dre.
You didn't forget about Dre. You were telling me about Dre.
But you got to forget about Dre.
No, I may have forgotten about Dre. I don't know. I'm saying you were telling me about Dre because I was talking about DeAndre Hopkins, and you were like,
yeah, but you.
But I'm also telling you about DeAndre Hopkins. He's damn.
They just moved their lips, but they forgot about Dre. Anyway, yeah, whatever.
No, I know exactly what you're doing. I'm just busting your balls.
I'm just doing what you think you want me to do. Anyway, yeah. My whole thing is, I think Watson's going to be fine.
I think Watson is going to be fine. I just don't think he's going to be a top 3 quarterback. And part of the problem is y'all paid him like he's going to be the best quarterback in the NFL.
I mean,
y'all paid him like he's about to supplant, Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. And I'm telling you, that ain't happening. I don't think he's going to be better than Josh Allen. I don't think he's going to be better than Jalen Hurts. I don't think I think he at best might be like competing with Tua for that number 5 spot, but I ultimately think Tua is going to be better.
Okay. Hi,
Mikey.
Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Deshaun Watson, for the record. Why did they lose to the Cowboys? Who lose to the Cowboys?
Texans. So remember Mikey was coming on the last time we had an episode, and he predicted the Texans would beat the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, they always won.
You said, oh, if the Texans win, I'm going to do some crazy thing on video, and I'll film it and everything like that. And so I think Mikey's just belly aching that the.
I was so ready to figure out. Well, I was they might lose this game. Yeah.
I was rooting for him, honestly. Like, I mean, I didn't necessarily want to be that wrong and have to go through and spend part of my day clipping out how wrong I was and then putting up a video about it. But at the same time, I was kind of rooting for him. I kind of wanted to see it happen. Me too, because they provided content. I mean, hey, it would have been good content. It would have been good for my channel. But also just because of the chaos. Fuck the Cowboys. Like, that would have been hilarious. Yeah, fuck. Who the Cowboys anyway? Fuck the Cowboys. Yeah. All right, so we need to go ahead and move on. We're already over 45 minutes in. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do our predictions. Go ahead. Go ahead and pull it up. By the way, just to be clear, I think I have completely lost track of what the standings are. So I have no idea. I know I was like 10 games ahead of you. But beyond that, like. We'll do it in the playoffs. The playoffs wouldn't matter anyway. Yeah, then we'll restart in the playoffs. But here's my suggestion, Thomas. I think. Oh, by the way, Thomas was correct about the Thursday night game. He texted me. He said 49ers. I said Seahawks. So give him that one. But my suggestion, I think, for next year, Thomas, let's do a pick'em league, because the pick'em league will record our picks for us, and I don't have to go through the video every week and make like a graphic that reminds me of like who picked. And you viewers, James, no hard feelings, even though I told you to say James and Mikey, we could do the pick 'em together. Yeah. James and Mikey and everybody who watches. The stupid Steele was commenting earlier. I didn't get to your comment, but yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson's going to be like Russ. That was kind of my whole point. Like, people thinking he's going to either come in, he's going to be amazing. And then the people dunking on the Browns for him being terrible right now. It's like, bro, he's going to suck at first. Like, that's just going to happen. Like y'all who thought, like, I think some people were like, just so ready to dunk on Deshaun Watson because they hate him that, like, at the second he doesn't play amazing in his first game back in 2 years, everybody's like, oh, look, I was right. He's terrible. It's like, come on. Don't be stupid. But all right.
We should be a Browns fan for it. You deal with these motherfuckers.
No, I don't have the patience to be a Browns fan, Thomas. I don't. And it's not because of the Browns, it's because of your fans. Your fans are
no, I don't blame you, dude. These people are just it's the older ones too. It's the older ones. Like I've been a Browns fan since they first built the original Cleveland Stadium. God damn, you've been a Browns fan since Hitler was in power. That's a long ass time. That's not an anti-Semitic joke. I adamantly hate that guy. I hate that guy.
I don't think you admitting that Hitler existed is the same thing as saying that Hitler was a good person.
No. He sucks. He's like a horrible person. Hate that guy. Horrible person for the record.
James is allegedly 88-57 on the season. I don't remember where our stuff was at, but I think that might be a little bit ahead of me. I can't remember. I can't remember now. That's part of the problem. Like I had a whole document written out where I went through and I figured out like what happened last week and how everything went. And then I just can't find it anymore. I don't know what happened to it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the screen share over and we're going to put that up. All right. So Thomas, the first game for today.
Okay.
This is totally not me being unprepared. This is a dramatic pause. No, it's me being unprepared. I had it up and then I lost it and now we're here. But okay, so we're gonna start out with the Dolphins and Bills, which man, you want to talk? That's a good matchup right there. But Dolphins and Bills in Buffalo. What do you think?
You said it's in Buffalo, right?
In Buffalo.
Oh, the Bills. I just think the Bills. I think the Bills are a better team than the Dolphins. I said begrudgingly. But I'm gonna give the edge to the Bills.
Okay. So I'm this was a little tough for me. I think the Bills are going to win as well. I think the Dolphins have been kind of struggling a little bit lately. It's not that the Bills haven't. I mean, they just lost Von Miller for the season. That's tough. Mikey says Dolphins. So just a reminder to everybody, you tell us who you think is going to win too. But yeah, I think the Dolphins have been struggling a little bit lately. Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL. I don't think that the Bills are going to finish the rest of the season. I don't think they're going to run the table, but I think they're going to win this game. I think the Bills get it done against the Dolphins, especially at home. All right, so next up, this one, Thomas, I don't know if you're going to be able to come up with an answer. This one's really tough. So we got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Houston, Texas, play Texans. Go.
Upset of the century. Patrick Mahomes' wife stays home. And Kansas City, instead of going to nice, warm climate, Houston, Texas, where she could have a nice little party. But Chiefs by 20.
Thomas over here upset of the century. Chiefs by 20. So, okay then. All right, so I am also picking the Chiefs. However, I actually don't think this is going to be a gigantic blowout. I think the Texans are going to bring it close. And oh boy, Thomas, do you understand how happy I would be if the Texans actually pulled off this win? Mikey's saying Texans. I hope you're right, Mikey. That would just be gold.
For everybody.
That would be gold right there. I hope the Texans do it, but do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't. The Chiefs are going to win. I don't think they're going to kill them, but I think they're going to win. So, all right, next up, we got the New England Patriots playing the Las Vegas Raiders in Vegas. What you got?
Raiders, Patriots in Vegas.
In Vegas.
I'm going with the Patriots. I just think that that's just a game that Bill Belichick will be able to outcoach the Raiders and McDaniels and everything, all their problems. He's just going to have the team prepared. The Patriots are going to win that game.
Okay. All right. So let's see. So you're taking the Raiders?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to take.
No, I'm taking the Patriots.
Oh, you're taking the Patriots?
Yeah. Patriots.
Okay. I'm kind of torn on this one. I think the Raiders are hot right now, honestly, and the Patriots are. Their offense is just awful. I'm going to take the Raiders here. I think the Raiders are desperate right now, and the Patriots kind of have a little bit of breathing room. So I think the Raiders are going to come in hungry.
All right.
And I think the Raiders are going to come away with the win here.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Next up. 1 second. What's going on? Hey, you know I'm on a stream, right? What's going on? Okay.
So
this is not a
it's
reason
worth
to-
saying that
in the middle of a stream.
that the Battle of Ohio podcast is brought to you by Lord VPN.
All right.
Click that link in the bio and you get 69% off when you purchase Lord VPN.
Thank you, Thomas. 69%. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up we got Titans Chargers. Go.
Chargers. Don't even, you know, I mean, Titans are they beat up on a bad division and they lose in the playoffs. Chargers. Herbert's still going live. The Titans.
Okay, so you're. I just want to be clear here. Your reasoning here is the Titans are going to lose because they lose in the playoffs.
No,
it's not the
because
playoffs yet.
No, I said the Titans beat up on a bad division, make the playoffs, and they lose. They get 6 season wins every year.
All right.
Titans. I'm Chargers.
Okay, so I'm taking the Titans here. And it's like I just don't believe in the Chargers at all. Like, I mean, like the Chargers. Brandon Staley gets on my damn nerves because, like, I'm convinced that Brandon Staley could be one of the best coaches in the NFL. Period. And he's just an idiot. Like I don't know, man. He's way too aggressive in situations that don't call for it, and he's not aggressive enough in situations that do call for it. So I don't know. Until further notice, I just do not believe in the Chargers at all. I'm sure they're not gonna lose every single game, but am I gonna pick them to win any games? I don't think so. So James says the Titans are one-dimensional, and I agree. But that one dimension they have is dominant. So, like, I don't think the Chargers are going to slow down Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's been having a bit of a rough run lately, but I think the Chargers are going to be the type of team that he can just destroy, right? So, I think the Titans are going to win this game.
Okay, I hope so because
I'm apparently alone in that.
To lose if the Browns want to have any breathing prayer of a Jesus chance of making playoffs and going 9-8.
I am apparently alone in that, though, because both James and Mikey are picking the Chargers too. So, but I think the Titans will win personally.
Ugh.
All right. So next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings and Indianapolis Colts. Go.
New man on the Minnesota Vikings. Jeff Saturday's magic is running out. Crap, I'm blanking. The other team you said. I can't remember the other team you said. I don't know why I just blanked on the other team you just said. I don't know why.
Vikings.
The who?
Vikings.
Yeah, man. Kirk Cousins looking good this year. Shout out to him. But I don't think it's Kirk Cousins looking good. I just think Jefferson is just a beast of a receiver. Like, man, is he about to have a year? He about to have to break some records. So give me the Vikings.
All right. So, let me see. I think I'm going to make this my big upset of the week. So you're taking the Vikings, and I think most reasonable human beings on the planet are going to take the Vikings. But I don't know. There's something I've been kind of sensing out of the Colts since Jeff Saturday took over. I know they've been losing, but they haven't been losing by much, right? Like, they lost by 1 point to the Eagles. They lost by like a touchdown to the Steelers, and then they got like destroyed by the Cowboys. I understand that, but they were also, if you recall, keeping that game close, and then the fourth quarter happened. The fourth quarter was like insane. But I think Jonathan Taylor is due for a bit of a bounce back, and I think the Vikings are due for a little bit of a bringing them back down to earth type of situation, right? So I'm actually going to take the Colts on the big upset this week.
Yeah, he's really good. Jonathan Taylor's really good. I don't think
he hasn't been this year, but
he hasn't been this year, but but that talent's still there. He's still.
Yep. James says Colts for the chaos, and it would be chaos, but like I actually think that this it feels like the Vikings have all year been ripe for an upset from time to time, right? Like the Vikings are not an elite team. They have an elite record, and they've beaten some elite teams, which is insane, but they themselves, they could beat anybody and lose to anybody. And I think the Colts are going to be the team that takes them down this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mikey agrees with me. Go,
okay.
Mikey.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Mikey. I see what you're working with.
Okay,
Show me what you're working with. Shake the thing. Who got next?
Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys and Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. Go.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna make this my big upset of the week, actually.
Okay. It's fair.
Because Jacksonville has been clicking more for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it will just be fun to see the Cowboys lose.
That's as good as an answer as any. The Vikings have and that's what I'm saying.
They do. So, they do.
James said the Vikings have a negative point differential, and that's my point. Like I think they're ripe for kind of a team that they're not prepared for to just come in and surprise the hell out of them.
Your point is about the points.
Yes, my point is about the points.
Your point is all about the points.
Yeah. Okay, so I will say, Thomas, that's a really good pick, by the way. Like the Jaguars taking down the Cowboys, that is a fair big upset of the week. Oh, and I also think that it's a really realistic chance of that happening. So for the sake of posterity, I'm going to take the Cowboys here just because I think realistically the Cowboys are the better football team.
Yeah.
But I totally think you could be onto something there with Jaguars for sure. I wouldn't be unbelievably shocked to see them win this game.
Well, I mean, in football, you don't got to be the better team. You got to be the better team that day.
That exactly. And I think the Jaguars do have what it takes. But I ultimately think the Cowboys are just the Cowboys are on a roll lately. It's hard to pick against them right now.
Yeah.
However, both Mikey and James appear to be on your side on this one.
I don't know why. I just said that game, and I was saying to myself, oh, yeah, I see it happening. Man, like I was almost right about that Ravens game, by the way. I was like a couple weeks ago, I was like the Broncos going to beat the Ravens. I was so close. Wilson pissed me off.
That would have been great.
Man, Wilson used to be one of our favorite quarterbacks, man. He's pissed me off. We'll get to him. Who got next?
All right, next up, we got the Detroit Lions traveling to New York, or New Jersey, rather, to play the Jets. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions has been looking hot. And not only just that, I just think the Jets' hot start was it was a mirage. I don't think they're as good as their start was. I think they're going to come down to earth more. I just don't think the Jets are going to be able to continue that. I think they're going to flame out. I think the Lions are starting to click. They got so many offensive weapons. Give me the Lions.
Yep. All right, so my turn. I agree. I think the Lions are going to win. I think you're right about the Jets' start being a bit of a mirage. It's not so much. I don't think the Jets' start was a mirage. I think we all knew that the Jets were on borrowed time because their quarterback situation was abysmal. We all knew that while the Jets are winning right now, it's just like, how long is that quarterback situation going to stay like before it implodes? And I think it has imploded now. Zach Wilson, I think, is getting the start this week, but it's only because Mike White got hurt. Yeah. So the Jets are just too chaotic right now. I don't believe in them like I believed in them before. I don't even entirely know if I believe in them to make the playoffs. Like I could totally see them actually, I think right now they are out of the playoffs. So I think the Jets are going to stay out of the playoffs. I don't see them making it. And I think the Lions are going to win. And the Lions are hungry. The Lions have a good shot right now to make the playoffs. The Lions have a shot to make a realistic shot.
It's the NFC, man. It's the NFC, man. It's the NFC, man. It's the NFC, bro.
Dude, the Lions are insane. I don't even know what got into them, but The Lions are you got to give them respect. You just got to.
You got 17 teams do not deserve to make the playoffs in the NFC, man.
Yep. All right. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Go.
All right, man. Look, I am so freaking pissed off at Russell Wilson this year, man. Like, oh, how the greats have fallen. Like, man, how he's falling. I'm actually gonna go with the Cardinals. And I know I'll hate Cliff Kingsbury, but I'm going to Cardinals because I love Colt McCoy. I'm pissed off at Wilson. And the Broncos just look so bad, unbelievably bad. Like, just can't. Like, I picked them to win a Super Bowl in the offseason. Like, just want to put that out there, man. Was I wrong?
All right, so I am going to take the Broncos actually, because the Cardinals' season is over. I think Cliff Kingsbury is a dead man walking right now, and I mean Kyler Murray's gone. Like, I love Colt McCoy, you know. I think I'm a Colt McCoy fan, but I don't think he's going to be enough, quite frankly. And I like the Broncos showed me something against the Chiefs last week, right? Like, they didn't end up winning, but they took the Chiefs close, man. Like, they played them real close, and that Broncos offense finally found a gear. And Russell Wilson may have, I think honestly, Russell Wilson may have lost the game for the Broncos when he like dove for that first down. And while it seemed like an amazing play in the moment that was like really galvanizing for the Broncos, and they even got a touchdown right afterwards, I think losing Russell Wilson for the rest of the game ended up making it like Brett Rippon was never taking the Broncos back against the Chiefs. Brett Rippon was not driving the Broncos down the field. I think Russell Wilson still got something in him. I don't think it's gone. I think it's been buried by a lot of bullshit this year, but I don't think Russell Wilson's gone. And I feel like the Broncos showed something against the Chiefs last week. And I think they're going to carry it over against the Cardinals.
Man,
partly because the Cardinals are just a disaster right now.
Don't matter, bro. Maybe he didn't lose it. Maybe it's Sierra. I don't know why. She was good in 2005. She's haven't been good ever since 2005. This beat is automatic, supersonic. Let me hear you. 1-2 step.
All right then. Okay, so next up, you got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Chicago to play the Bears.
You know, Phil's been looking a lot better, but he's still mid. And Jalen Hurts is that boy. So give me the Eagles.
Yeah. All right. So
the Eagles are good, man. The Eagles are really freaking good, dude.
Yeah, the Eagles are insane.
They're really good, man. They like, you look at the advanced stats on them. They also got like, they said I listened. They were talking about on the radio. They got like what? They got how many double-digit sackers on their team? They got good corners. They got good receivers. They got good running back. They got literally everything on that team. Like, how do you beat them?
The Eagles have no holes.
They really don't.
They're like, there's a reason why, as high as I am on the Bengals right now, I still have the Eagles at number 1 in my power rankings because the Eagles are just insane. They're unstoppable right now. Like, I know the Commanders did it, but that was it was a Monday night game. Flukiness to that.
Yeah, again, you don't got to be the better team. You got to be better that day.
Yeah, and I think the Eagles, they had their one loss. I don't know if they're going to lose again this season until they lose to Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. But anyway, my point being that I think that the Eagles are an unbelievable team right now, and the Bears kind of suck. So I'm taking the Eagles. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Eagles are going to kill them. James said Eagles by a sad 20+. Like, it's not even going to be close, honestly. Like, they're going to get wrecked.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So next up, we got the Atlanta Falcons. Desmond Ridder. We got the battle of the Cincinnati quarterbacks, Thomas. We got Desmond Ridder, the guy who led UC to their first college football playoff appearance, going up against Andy Dalton. And we all know about Andy Dalton and the New Orleans Saints. So
I'm actually very excited to see what Desmond Ritter got. And honestly, that's why I don't really know where to go in this game because the Saints aren't really that good of a team. But so I don't really know. We don't know what we're gonna get from Desmond Ritter. But I do know I want to get from Andy Dalton. I do like Ritter could come out and be a really good quarterback, but I want to go with the Saints. Me going with the Saints is not me saying that Desmond Ritter is going to be a bad quarterback in the NFL. Because I actually do think Ritter. I thought that he drafted in the 3rd round, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, I thought that was appropriate time for him to be drafted. I think he's one of those quarterbacks. I thought he was one of those quarterbacks that if he was put in the right situation and he was able to develop, he could be a solid quarterback. I'm not saying that he's going to be like a Patrick Mahomes or anything, but I mean, I just think this is put in the right situation. He might be able to make it. Yep. So, but I'm still going Andy Dalton, I think.
Yep. Okay, so my analysis of this game is basically what Mikey just said. So Mikey said that the Saints are going to win, which, of course he did. He's a Saints fan. So fair enough. But he also said we still suck. And that's kind of my point here. The Falcons have kind of been an up and down football team all year. The Saints are terrible right now, especially their offense. So I don't think Desmond Ritter's going to have to come out and light it up to win this game. I don't. I just think he's going to have to do good enough. And I think he's probably capable of that. The Falcons already have their offense built around Marcus Mariota, who kind of already needed to just do enough to win. So I don't know. I think the Falcons are just. I think they're gonna beat the Saints this week, and I don't think it's gonna be particularly notably close game. Did you say you were taking the Saints?
Thanks.
Okay. All right.
I'm going your boy Andy Dalton.
All right. I'll be happy with whoever wins. I think I'd be rooting for the Saints more than I'd be rooting for the Falcons. As much as I being a resident of Cincinnati, I like UC, but I'm not a UC fan, right? So it's just I have a soft spot for Desmond Ritter because he went to the local school. But I'm not going to be oh, Desmond Ritter. That's when Will Levis comes out, I'm going to be the biggest Will Levis fan unless he goes to the Steelers or something because if he's probably no, he's not because I don't think the Steelers are going to move on from Kenny Pickett that quickly. But if Will Levis went somewhere that I hated, it would be really conflicting for me. Just like with Tim Couch, motherfucker. But I will be a big Will Levis fan in the NFL. Desmond Ritter, I like Desmond Ritter. I hope he does well. I will be rooting for the Saints in this game because Andy Dalton's my boy. But I ain't got nothing wrong with Desmond Ritter. But I do think that the Falcons are going to win. Yeah. James says get Brady out of first in the NFC South. Honestly, I think the way all those teams are playing right now, I think the Panthers are going to end up winning the NFC South. I know that sounds insane, but I think it's going to happen.
Okay, they should. Man, the Panthers had a really good chance. I think they blew a really good chance with Baker Mayfield. I think they just didn't. I just don't think they.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't think Baker Mayfield fit their system very well.
Exactly. Well, yeah, but I thought he could have been good. They got him at a very weird time in training camp. The Browns waited to the last minute to trade him.
All right. So next up, we got the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. Last time these two teams played, they tied, and that kind of screwed up our what do you call it? Our standings for the week. So this week, Thomas, do you think they tie again?
Well, very possibly. You heard what I said. The only team the Commanders beat that's above 500 this year is the Eagles.
It matters.
So, and then the Giants got Daniel Jones as quarterback. So I want to go to Commanders. I want to go to Commanders. We don't like either one of those teams. I'm going to Commanders.
Look, Thomas.
I think they beat up on it. I don't believe NFC. I think the NFC is very weak. I look at the NFC, I'll be like, man, how many NFC teams that are doing good you think they're doing a lot worse than the AFC? There's a lot of them.
I think both of these teams. I don't think the Eagles would. I don't think the Cowboys.
Okay, the Eagles, yeah, I'll give you the Eagles. But I don't think the Vikings would have the record they have right now if they played in the AFC. And I don't think the Giants, nor do I think the Commanders will have the record they have if they played in the AFC. I don't.
All right. Okay, so for me, the Giants and Commanders, I'll say one thing: never trust a guy from Duke, ever. Period.
Fuck Duke.
But in particular, I'm talking about Daniel Jones right now, and I don't trust Daniel Jones at all. I think the Commanders are low key one of the better teams in the NFL right now. I know they got Taylor Heineke, but Taylor Heineke's holding it down.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad.
Exactly. That's the thing. He's not bad, but they got a solid team around them right now.
They
So
do.
I think the Commanders are hot right now. I think the Commanders are going to take this game.
They do. They're a nice defense too.
All right. So next we got for I believe the Monday night matchup. You got Baker Mayfield and the Los Angeles Rams taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. What you got?
Okay. Give me Baker Mayfield, baby. I think that the Rams are getting fired up. I think you talk about Baker Mayfield not fitting the system in Carolina. I think McVay and Baker Mayfield is like a beautiful combination. I don't know why. I just like those two just look alike. That might be a nice little marriage. And I think we're going to see it.
What up, Majestic? What's going on?
You're
boy right there.
What's up, Majestic? I don't
Majestic
know who that is.
YT. Now he's a guy who follows my show a lot.
But I like a name like Majestic. Shouts to you.
Yeah. All right. So Packers and Rams. I'm gonna go to the Rams too. I don't know. Like I really feel like the Packers could take this game. Like the Packers are playing a little bit better lately. This isn't like the October Green Bay Packers that we're watching right now. This is a much I think more concise football team. I think the Packers are better than they were earlier in the season. But I also think you're right about Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield is like the perfect quarterback for Sean McVay. And the only problem is the Rams just like how many weapons does he really have in LA right now? Like they traded away some of their weapons over the offseason. They lost Odell. Maybe that's a good thing if Baker's there now. But I just think in general, I don't know if the Rams are going to reach their full offensive potential this year, but I do think that the Packers, if the Packers don't come to play to the extent that they have right now, to the extent that they have been at certain points in the season, I think the Rams, I think Baker Mayfield and the Rams and Sean McVay could probably put together a game plan to take them down on a Monday night, quite frankly. So I'm picking the Rams here. I wouldn't bet money on this game by any means, any way, shape, or form. But if I've gun to my head, I got to take one of these teams. I'm taking the Rams just because right now I believe in Baker Mayfield.
Real quick, do you think that Stafford will be able to come back from the injury?
No, I think he's done. I think this is.
Yeah,
I think Stafford's probably going to retire at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think he's done. I think he's done too. I think that's the underlying story, and I think that low key they know that. That's why they brought in Baker Mayfield.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because they don't have any picks to get anybody. They don't have any. So this is kind of like a test run to see if Baker Mayfield could be their long term answer.
Well, and I think what they're also doing, I think they're testing the waters to see Baker Mayfield. But part of the reason they're doing that is because of what they did to get Matthew Stafford. They gave up all those draft picks and everything like that. And they gave up all these draft picks to put together their Super Bowl roster and everything like that. So I think this is their way of cheating the system.
Yeah, they have no way to get another quarterback.
Do what?
They have no way to get another quarterback.
Yeah, pretty much. They're going to have to sign somebody, and Baker Mayfield's a free agent after this season, right?
Yeah.
So I think he'll have a good experience in LA, and I think he'll want to re-sign in LA. But I think I think LA is one of the type of team I think Baker Mayfield would have chosen to sign with anyway.
Yeah. I think it's a perfect fit for him.
Yeah, I think it is too, and I think he'll stick around, and I think the Rams are going to get away with like all those trades they made to put together the Super Bowl roster because they're going to go get Baker Mayfield on the relative cheap and have a really good quarterback in there who's not going to cost them an arm and a leg.
And then McVay, I mean, like look what McVay did with Goff. Look and watch what he's gonna do with Mayfield. And the whole thing is that he's gonna McVay is just the coach that Mayfield needs. Like McVay, like we both seen a game of Mayfield where he made some passes. You're like, that's nice. That was really nice right there. And like I felt like Kevin Stefanski took away a lot of Baker Mayfield's fieriness, and he took away too much of it. I think McVay is going to channel the perfect Baker Mayfield, the perfect balance of Baker Mayfield. I think McVay is perfect for Baker Mayfield.
I think so. And now that you mention it, I think you might have a point about Kevin Stefanski. Well, I do think that Kevin Stefanski is a really good coach, and I don't think the Browns should even consider firing him.
Yeah, shut up, Browns fans.
I do think that perhaps maybe Baker Mayfield wasn't the best fit with Kevin Stefanski because, like, the whole reason why I was like concerned when the Browns hired Kevin Stefanski, and by the way, when I say concerned, I meant as a Bengals fan. When I was concerned because I'm like, oh shit, that's a good hire. The reason I was concerned is because Kevin Stefanski is exactly the kind of like, like middle of the road kind of like, like calming type of presence that the Browns really need, especially after they've had guys like, Johnny Manziel and Freddie Kitchens and et cetera, just like, ramping up the energy and blowing it up in everybody's faces. Kevin Stefanski was exactly the kind of like, no bullshit type of, laid back type of personality that the Browns really needed. And I think that, I think a big reason the Browns aren't a complete joke in the NFL anymore is because Kevin Stefanski's come in. Now, obviously, it's been a bad season, but this season hasn't been bad in the way that, like, previous seasons have been bad for the Browns, right? Like, previous seasons have been like the Browns are the laughing stock of the NFL. This year, they're not. Like, I mean, this year, it's like they've been in some games and they're not a winning team right now, but they're not an embarrassing team either, I don't think.
Even still, this was a very tough situation for them to have this year. So, like what you say you think the best case scenario they win 2 out of the next 4. I still put them at 7-10. Like they won 7 games with having a quarterback out 3/4 of the year. Like, come on, man. I mean, like that whole situation. I mean, trying to calm down the fan base and stuff. Like that was. There's no book. There is nobody Kevin Stefanski could talk to about handling or approaching this season of the Browns as a Browns coach. There is no coach in the NFL. Bill Belichick came and tell Kevin Stefanski, hey, I know how you should handle the situation. Kevin Stefanski got put in a near impossible situation this year. He has been. Mm-hmm. And if he wins 7 games out of coming out of that near impossible situation, I'm still like, yeah, it's not bad. Because it could have been because there's been people who had much better circumstance who did a lot worse. I'm looking at you, Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for the non-AFC North games. But now we're going to talk about the AFC North games. So we're going to start with the one that I don't think really anybody cares about much at all. And that's the Steelers and the Panthers. These are both I think they're both 5-8 right now, both of them. Like the Panthers doing a little better since Matt Rule was fired, and there's a chance that they could end up winning the NFC South, which is just nuts. I think they might, honestly. I think the Panthers might do it. But they're going up against the Steelers this week, who their 5-8 is very different. They have no chance at making winning their division, virtually no chance at making the playoffs. They're pretty much just like they're looking forward to next year at this point. They're playing for draft positioning, but also hilariously, they're fucking up their draft positioning by winning random games. So I don't know. I'll kind of take it. But what do you think, Thomas? Do you think the Steelers or Panthers?
I mean, I don't think Kenny Pickett is going to be a long-term answer for it. I don't think Kenny Pickett's good. The Panthers got a good defense. Who's playing home in this game?
Panthers.
Believe it or not, that doesn't make a difference for me. Who's the quarterback for the Panthers?
Sam Darnold, I believe. I think Mitch Trubisky will be playing for the Steelers.
Yeah. Man, that was a toss-up.
Well, your time's up, so pick one.
I want to go to Panthers because they're home. Only because they're home.
All right, so Thomas is going with the Panthers. Real quick, Majestic YT said everyone says the Cowboys miss Amari Cooper, yet they're doing better without him. Now, I will say, it appears to be a trade. Well, what I was going to say was that trade appears he's one of them players that if he's not the only good wide receiver on the team, then he'll do half the effort. I mean, fair enough, I guess. I don't know, but he's been a huge boost for the Browns this year. So I think both the Cowboys and the Browns benefited out of that trade.
They talked for that one, man.
Both teams did really good.
I am not mad about having Amari Cooper, man. That guy's awesome.
Majestic says the Steelers are going to win 3 of their last 4. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Steelers are going to finish 7-10. So I think they're going to win 2 of their last 4.
Ravens too, right? The Steelers play the Ravens too, right?
Steelers.
Because the
Steelers played the Ravens last week.
Yeah, no, they play the Ravens again though.
Again?
They play the Ravens. Yeah, I think because they're not. All right, they play the Panthers, the Raiders.
Holy shit, you're right. Week 17, they play the Ravens. They play.
I see them win 3 out of the last 4.
They play them twice in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I see them win 3 out of the last 4. I can see them beating the Panthers, the Raiders, and the Ravens.
I think they'll win 2. So part of the reason I think they're going to win 2 is because I think they're going to lose this game. I think the Panthers are the better team right now. I think the Panthers are in hot pursuit of that division and have a lot more to play for than the Steelers right now. And I just mentioned the Steelers messing up their draft positioning, right? Like, I'm not saying that's motivating anybody for the Steelers. Man. I'm just saying it might make a little bit of a slight difference between 2 teams that are really not that much different from each other right now. So I think the Panthers are probably going to come away with a win.
Man, if it wasn't for the Falcons, I would say the Ravens are going to lose out.
All right. So next up, we got Bengals Buccaneers. What do you got, Thomas?
Man, look, man. I'm going to go with the Bengals. All the Bengals, Kyle. I think the Bengals are a better team than the Buccaneers, and the Bengals are clicking on all cylinders. I think the Bengals are on a hot pursuit, but you can never count out Tom Brady. But I just don't think the Buccaneers are a good team right now. I watched that team struggle to move the ball down the field in person. I was shocked. I never seen Tom Brady. I've seen Tom Brady play before. That's not Tom Brady. That's Ham Haiti. I don't know. Whoever the hell that is. That ain't Tom Brady. That's Cliff Paul. That man slept with Kanye West's wife, and he caught him with it and tweeted about it on Twitter. That's not Tom Brady that we're seeing out there.
So I'm taking the Bengals too. It's the Bengals. They're not the best team in the NFL right now. The only reason for that is that the Eagles exist. The Eagles are just insane, but the Bengals are beating everybody lately, man. Like, I mean, we started 0-2, and since then we've won like. Since we started 0-2, we're what, 9-2, I think.
Yep.
Like the Bengals just look. The Bengals look about as unstoppable as anybody right now. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter who you have in there playing, as long as number 9's playing, the Bengals are going to do well. So, I mean, it sounds like Trey Hendrickson's going to be out this week against the Buccaneers, but you got Joseph Osai who's going to backing him up. And you know who Joseph Osai's first sack in the NFL was against?
Who was it against?
Tom Brady.
I'm ready.
So
Tom Brady, baby.
And I think you're right. Like, yeah, as much as I respect Tom Brady's, like gift as a NFL player, I think the Buccaneers are in an awful spot right now, and Tom Brady isn't doing enough to lift them out of it. So, I mean, crazy things have happened, but I think you put your money on the Bengals this week and you don't look backwards.
Yep, I agree.
All right. So, in my opinion, even as a Bengals fan, I'll say, in my opinion, this is one of the most interesting games of the week, and that's the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens. So obviously the Browns, not really don't have a whole lot left to play for the season, except maybe just like trying to put something together and build some momentum for next year.
You want to finish above 500. You want to finish above 500.
Well, yeah, if you can, then that's what I think the Browns are playing for. But ultimately, they're not playing for a lot, right? Like they're not playing for the playoffs. Realistically, a lot of stuff like that. The Ravens, on the other hand, are playing for everything right now. Like they are holding on to the division by a thread, and somehow been managing to come away with some of these games. But like, I think anybody who watched those games could tell you they didn't deserve any of those wins. So why don't you tell me what you think is going to happen, Thomas?
Well, I think the Browns defense has been playing better. The Browns did win 2 out of the last 3. And even still, with you talking about the Bengals being the best team in the league, the defense did a good job of holding up the Bengals in the first quarter and the first half last week. Just small stuff where they kind of shot themselves in the foot. I don't think those things are going to happen this week. I think the Browns will come out and play a cleaner game this week. I think Washington's going to look better. And I just think that they're going to score enough points to beat Tyler Huntley and the Ravens. And Browns.
All right. So Majestic YT says only teams better than the Bengals are the 49ers and Cowboys, which, first of all, the Eagles are better than both of those teams, Majestic. Majestic's a Cowboys fan, by the way, Thomas, just so you know.
Yeah.
But I think the Bengals are better than the 49ers, and I think the Bengals are better than the Cowboys, quite frankly. I mean, I know they beat us. That was a completely different Bengals team. And it was a completely different Cowboys team, for that matter. So I think the Bengals are better than both of those teams, personally. So, all right, last ones for me. So I think the Browns are going to take down the Ravens. Now I keep picking against.
Thank you.
I do, but I keep picking against the Ravens, and they keep not winning, or they keep not losing, which is really frustrating and stupid. But they really should be losing all these games, so I don't feel like embarrassed by the fact that I keep picking the Ravens and they keep like winning, because like they should be losing, and I should
like, how the hell they win this game? Like,
exactly. So it's just like I'm gonna keep picking them to lose, because they look like a team that should be losing. I can't do anything about the fact that they're not losing, but they should. And I think, I don't know I think this is going to be a very defensive game. I think the difference is Deshaun Watson is right now better than some of what the Ravens have faced lately. So I think, like, while I don't think it's going to be like an all-time performance from Deshaun Watson or anything, I do think
I think he's gonna do barely enough. And I think he's going to start to get a rhythm.
Right.
And I think he's going to do those flashes like that drive that he had against the Bengals, that really good drive that he had against the Bengals. I think that he's going to have 2 of those really good drives this week. And then that's going to be enough to beat the Bengals. Or wait, Ravens, honestly.
Majestic says Eagles aren't better. Cowboys play them on Christmas Eve. You know what? If the Cowboys beat him, Majestic, that's great. But until further notice, the Eagles are insane. Like, I'm not even disrespecting the Cowboys right now to say. I don't even feel I'm disrespecting the Cowboys or the Bengals or anybody right now to say that the Eagles are number 1 in the NFL. That's how good the Eagles have looked lately. Like, are the Eagles as good as they've looked? I don't know, but they sure have looked like it. So that's all I can analyze is how they've looked. It's kind of like the Ravens. Like, are the Ravens really like worthy of being a playoff team? Probably not, but like they've been winning these games, so I've got to put them in the top 10 of my power rankings until they stop winning these games.
It's like that every year at the Ravens. I always be like, man, how do they win all these games and they make the playoffs and they get knocked out in the first round?
Yeah, they're probably going to lose in the first round, but
they're going to lose.
Anyway, Thomas, we've been at it for about an hour and a half. This is definitely one of the longer episodes that we've done.
And I got stuff to do, and I got to take a shower, and I got to work tomorrow, and
I've got some videos that I got to finish up. Got a lot of stuff to do tonight, but we just wanted to come on and have an episode. I've been having a lot of scheduling issues lately. Seems like I think they're gonna like lighten up, so you should be seeing us more consistently.
Don't buy a Kia. Don't buy a Kia. If you buy a Kia, be careful where you park it. If you park it somewhere uncomfortable, make sure you have like bubble wrap around that thing or something else.
So this is officially an anti-ad for Kia.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it was a great car, but you know, I mean, like, you know, the Kia boys got me.
All right. All right, but anyway, that's all we got for this week, guys. So, you know, till next time, y'all can always find more of what I do at Kyle Phelps 92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/the Phelps, ATBnetwork.com, Butt Fumble Sports, and my YouTube channel, which is just Kyle Phelps, which you might be watching from right now. But if you're watching from the Battle of Ohio podcast, which has its own YouTube channel, go check out my channel. It's just Kyle Phelps. Thomas, you can find him at T_star94 on Twitter and Instagram, and the Thomas J Network on YouTube and TikTok. Definitely go check him out. He puts out good music. He puts out good content. You know, he's definitely worth a follow. So
thank you. I appreciate
go check him out. And you know, I can't always say he has the best decision making when it comes to football, but you know,
you are also worth a follow who doesn't always make the best decisions when you're thinking about football.
Hey, my team's a Super Bowl contender.
Man, you're the one who would take Joe Burrow over Patrick Mahomes.
I would take. I don't even have to think about that hard. I would absolutely take Joe Burrow over Patrick Mahomes. I think Joe Burrow's long-term upside is higher than Patrick Mahomes, and I think right now he might be better too.
Long-term upside, maybe. Actually, you might got a point there.
All right.
Yeah, we'll save that for another day.
But anyway, that's all we got this week, y'all. So I'll leave y'all, as always, with a hootie!
Go Browns. Very begrudgingly go Browns.